We have a question.
Hi, this is Marnie and Sue Painter, and we're back with the online business reality show, or Marnie and Sue's Peep Show, where we give you a behind-the-scenes look at our businesses, pull back the curtains, and show you what's going on. Today we're talking about mindset, the type of mindset that you need to have to grow your business. And Sue, you said you've been talking to some of your clients about this. If you'd like to get the ball rolling with that, go ahead.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to talk about it today is that I see this in myself, and I see it also in clients often, and that is that, they get together a marketing plan, they go out and they get more social proof and visibility, and they build their business, and clients start coming in the door in bigger numbers than what they're used to, which we consider that to be a success, right? Because we're getting more clients and more money's coming in the door. But then what happens is they keep doing everything in the same way that they've always been doing it, which means if they're small, they've been doing it pretty much all themselves, right? And so all of a sudden I start hearing complaints of, well, I've gone from working 3 days a week to working 7 days a week, and I'm burnt out, and I don't like this, and I don't want to work this hard, and I don't have any free time, and I haven't even decorated my house yet for the holidays, and I don't know how to handle all this stuff that's coming in the door. So here's the thing. If you're going to grow your business, you have to have some things in place. One, of course, is you've got to have a business model that'll work for you and a marketing plan that is effective, right? I mean, we all know that. But the sneaky under part of it is that you also have to be willing to start delegating more, and to start staffing up, and to start having business systems that are more set in place so that you have the ability to hand things off to other people. And you have to be willing to let go of doing it all yourself. And I find this to be a real stuck place for a lot of home-based businesses and a lot of small business entrepreneurs, especially women, because we're used to doing it all ourselves. We don't think anybody can do it better, and we don't want to hand it off. But having the mindset of not being willing to run from an overview perspective and see how others are managing parts of your business is too small of a thinking. If you're going to build your business, you've got to build your mindset too. And that, I see, is a really big issue, and where a lot of people really need to talk through what their working habits are, what their perfectionistic tendencies are, what their control freak tendencies are. All of that stuff comes into play if you build your business. So, Marnie, I wonder if you've seen that in some of the people you've worked with, or if you've experienced that yourself as well.
Yeah, I think delegation is important, and it's better to delegate sooner than later. I had a good friend of mine who is like a serial entrepreneur. She'll start businesses, and then she'll get them off the ground, then she'll sell them, and she'll move on. And she delegates really fast and early, and I've watched her take those businesses and build them really fast by delegating early. But she does it wisely. She's not like just throwing money around. But like my own business with Ideal Marketers, it really didn't take off big until I hired Luanna Rodham to work in my business, and really be the go-to person with a lot of my day-to-day stuff, the consistent things. I like to delegate the things that are that have to be done consistently.
Yeah.
Because I get bored with that. I know I'm the big vision, person, and I'd rather delegate off those consistent things. That way my marketing was done consistently, all the different aspects of the business were done consistently by somebody who's good at consistency. The biggest thing I see with people that I talk to that they're scared to delegate is they've got some hang-ups about delegation, either, like you said, control or perfectionism, where they don't trust people to work. They don't trust that they can delegate and that person will follow through. What I usually have people do is, okay, what would have to happen for you to feel safe to delegate? What kind of person would be just totally ideal for you to be able to trust, to take it and run with it, and really articulate that into a job description so that you know what you're looking for. Instead, a lot of people, they really don't think that through, And so they don't wisely delegate, or when they do delegate, they don't trust the person to do it. So they're going behind them, micromanaging, and that defeats the whole purpose. When I delegate, I find somebody good, and then I forget about it, and I let them do it and trust them to do the job. Now, if I see that they're not doing it, I'm going to have a conversation. But you get good people, and you don't have to sit and micromanage. And I've been on the other end of things where people have delegated to me certain things, but then they hop behind me and delegate, or they get in there and mess things up, and then I got to fix that, So you got to let it go when you do delegate it. I think you have to.
Yeah. I think there are a couple of steps to that, and your points are very well taken. So I hope people are listening very well. First of all, I find people hiring the wrong staff, paying them at the wrong level, not really sitting down and saying, this is what I need this person to do, and this is what I want ideally. You're not ever going to get what you need unless you know how to ask for it. And that is something that I have tried to teach people all my life, and it has really helped me being able to build careers and build businesses and obtain what I want in life. Ask for what you want. People can always tell you no, but then you can go and find a person who's going to say yes. So if you say, well, I need somebody to handle my social media, I think that you need to sit down and write down, what does handling your social media mean to you, and then find somebody who can do it. And like you say, somebody who loves to do it and doesn't mind the consistency. And I think that this bird dogs us more than we realize. I actually think that it's bird dogging me a little bit right now, because my business has grown a lot in 2014, and I'm starting to feel like I need another level of staff person who is not a techie VA, who is kind of a lower level person who is at a lower pay range, who can do things like upload blog posts for me, or take that blog post and put it on LinkedIn, or take the blog post and chunk it out and put it on little pieces of it on Facebook or on Twitter throughout the week. I find myself doing it, and I don't need to be doing that anymore. And it used to be that I didn't do it, but things have just grown so rapidly for me that my systems need updating. So here's the thing about that. I caught a client saying to me earlier this morning, well, by the time I teach somebody to do it, I can do it myself. Those words are the kiss of death for your business. If you're saying that, you have perfectionistic tendencies, or you have control issue tendencies, or you do not understand what a business system will do for your business. My friend James Roche is brilliant about this. He says, if I find myself doing something 2 times in my business, I immediately write it down, make a system out of it, and hand it off to somebody to do. And then that keeps me clear for the big vision stuff.
That's great. So 2 times. Boy, he's efficient.
He is efficient, and I'm trying to learn from him, because the other day I thought, some of this stuff I've been sitting around here and doing for a month or more, and I just don't want to do it anymore. And plus, you do get bored with it and kind of burned out with it. Like right now, I'm kind of bored with the whole blogging thing. I don't know if you are, but I'm just kind of like, okay, I've been doing a blog once a week for like 8 years. I'm kind of over it right now.
Huh. Well, cool. So what other mindset things have come up besides delegation for your clients?
I mean, I think this whole thing of you've got to have the mindset to see yourself as a leader of your business, that you're going to have to grow yourself at the same time you're growing your business. And that actually used to be my tagline. I used to say, grow yourself to grow your business. And I come back to that. I think that's really true. So it is really thinking larger, and it's hard sometimes for people to think larger. I've thought about that a lot. Like, why is that so hard? For one thing, if you come from the corporate world, if you come from working for somebody else, they don't want you to think big. They want you to be in your little seat, in your little cubicle, doing your little thing that they pay you to do. It's not a place to think big. If you want to think big, you got to leave the corporate structure. Well, then they've taught you all the bad habits of waiting for everybody else to lead rather than you picking up and being the leader. So you kind of learn bad habits when you work for somebody else for a long period of time.
Mm.
And I've seen that in people. I've seen that in people who have worked for a corporation or for the government for 10 or 15 years, and they don't know what it is really to be creative and think out of the box because they've been trained that that's not their job to do that.
Right. They probably got in trouble if they did think outside.
Well, exactly. They probably did get in trouble if they did that. You're right. But it's a totally different mindset. I was interviewed on a podcast the other day that was Charlie Posnick has this podcast show, and it's specifically for boomers who want to create their own business after they quit their job or they retire or they get fired or, they get let go. And we were talking, and I said, the biggest thing is really mindset. When you've spent your life working for somebody else, you don't think about the expertise and the knowledge that you have that you can offer the world. You're used to shining somebody else's light instead of your own light. You don't know how to think like a business owner.
It's true. And I think positivity it affects your bottom line too. Like if there was a time in my life when I had somebody in my life that was kind of negative, and they were commiserating with me and my troubles or whatever, but they would, call me up and say, oh, you got it so hard, you have to do this, you have to work all the time, so and I was to be like, I can't afford to think this way, it costs too much. I can't, and they quit doing it because they realized I was like, I can't think this way, it's going to drag my bottom line down. And it's almost like a barometer to me with the way you think. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I do notice that. What do you think it is for people like you or like me that we're able to say, we have this vision of something we want to create, and, we don't really know how we're going to do it yet, but we're going to stick it out there and do it. Because that was the other thing that came up on this podcast the other day. One of the guy was saying, well, you're telling me that I could go create an online business, but I don't know how to get on YouTube, and I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do that. And he's like, I let the hows stop me. Well, the hows never stopped me. I figure, what the heck? We'll figure it out. And Marnie, I know you're excellent at really you're better at it than I am by far. I get impatient with it, and I'm like, I don't want to figure this out anymore. It's too technical for me. But you really will figure it out. You've got a great mind for that. And what is it, I wonder, that makes people have that difference of we can make this happen versus I don't know how to make this happen? Those are such two different mindsets.
Huh. I don't know. But, I catch myself, I don't know how to do that, but there's, it's rarely a tech thing that's going to stand in my way because I'm more techie. So I don't know that I can brag too much on that because I have kind of an affinity for tech stuff, so I'll figure it out. But usually I have the philosophy that if I don't know how to do it, somebody I know does. So I will ask around, or I'll go on YouTube and search it out, or Google it. Or I have people ask me basic questions like, what should I be pricing this at? Or what should I be doing? I want to be a ghostwriter. What should I price that as? And they just want me to pull that out of my head or something. I'm like, research it. Get online. How much do ghostwriters make? All the answers are at our fingertips, but some people will be like, that'll hold them up. Not knowing how to price it could hold them up for years. Right. When all they do is Google the questions, So
but you know what? Here's my thing. If you let a question like that hold you up for years, it's because you're afraid to make a mistake and get it wrong. You've got perfectionistic tendencies, and you're afraid to make a mistake. And if you're afraid to make mistakes, you may as well just go work for Burgerdoodle. You just may as well hang it up and go work for Burgerdoodle right now, because you're going to make all kind of mistakes, and you need to be making mistakes when you're in business.
Okay, I think we got the heart of it. Do you believe in failure?
No, I believe in feedback.
I'm the same. I don't believe in failure. It's just feedback. Oh, well, that didn't work. Maybe that's the crux of it, is we don't see ourselves as failures, or we don't see.
No. And there's also a couple of ways of looking at things too. And now I'll get my totally shameless plug in for my business intensive days. Okay, so I'm trying these business intensive days, and my goal is to have 4 people in Nashville on January 3rd and 4 people here in Florida on January 9th. Well, right now, this is a new thing for me, and I tried it. Right now, I've got 3 people in each place. I need one more person, and I think I might actually have sold the 4th seat to Nashville this morning, meaning I only have 1 seat left in Florida. That's it. It'd be totally sold out. I had somebody say to me last night, well, I guess you won't do this again. It's a failure because you didn't meet your 4. Are you kidding me? I tried this for the first time, and I'm 2 seats away from full. That's a success in my book. It's not a failure.
Yeah.
So it's a mindset thing. I'm happy. I mean, yes, I want that 4th person, and I, by golly, will get them before it's over with. You just wait and see. But still, nevertheless, I would not think about that as a failure.
No.
And so when this person said to me, well, I guess you won't do this again because you don't have 4 people. First of all, I've got another couple of weeks to fill it. Second of all, I have 3 of the 4. If you have to perfectly have a win and it's got to be 4 of the 4, why are you in business? You're making yourself crazy all night long. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I thought that way. I don't like it. I think it's bad mojo. What do you think?
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, you tried your new course about teaching people how to do how to write a product in a week. You know, get their product written in a week. Mm-hmm. And you probably, the first time you taught it back in the fall, you probably didn't have as many people in the class as you would have wished. That would be my guess.
Right. Yeah.
So, but still, you created it, you did it, you had people there, and you've done it again, or you're going to be doing it again since then. Why is that a failure? It might not have been as full as you would have wanted, but by the very action of taking action, you get that energy started, and you start building your social proof that you've done it, and you start showing yourself as an expert that you can teach that. To me, a failure is only if you marketed it like heck and you had like 0 people, and even then that's only feedback. It's like you've got the wrong target market or the wrong copy or the wrong dates or the wrong price. Something in there needs tweaking.
Right. You've got to, I think with entrepreneurialism, we have to be determined that we will not give up. We're going to figure it out, and then you tweak and adapt, because you're constantly tweaking and adapting to find the right mix. And sometimes you're going to do a mix that doesn't work. That doesn't mean it's a failure. It just means, well, that combination didn't work, so you switch and do it a different way. I don't give myself an out, you know. I mean, it's do or die. You know? You got to do it or you die. You don't have the food on the table. You know.
I think part of it gets ego too, because I was talking to another client a couple of days ago, and she was like, well, you know, this is how I want to package this stuff, and this is what people need, and this is what I want to sell. And it has not been selling for her. Well, it could be her copy and her price point. It could be. But also, my ear kind of perked up a little bit, because what I was thinking is, well, it may be that you're packaging what you want to offer, and you're not packaging it in a way that it's what people want and are willing to pay for. If you see me looking up, it's because a boat is coming down the water, and it's like coming straight toward my glass. It's about 50 feet away, and I'm kind of like, is he going to turn? Or am I going to have a boat in my living room here in a minute? He just turned. But my eyes were starting to get big because this white yacht was coming straight at me. So anyway, I was going to turn the computer around real quick and say, here, I'm fixing to be hit by this yacht. So anyway, you know, sometimes our egos get in it, and we want to offer what we think people need rather than what people want and are willing to buy.
Right. That's the first thing I teach people when they're creating a product is research the audience. Actually talk to them. Get inside their heads. Find out what they need and they want, because you may think it's one thing and it's completely different, you know. You don't know until you talk to some people. And I'm very big on creating what the audience wants, not what I think they want. Because, and I really learned that from doing Google research, you know, where I would think, okay, this is probably what they're typing in to Google. And I put it in, it'd have no searches on it or whatever, and it'd be some other phrase. You know, I'm always wrong about what I think people are searching for. So you gotta, I think it's very, egotistical to think that you know all the answers without researching your audience?
You know what people need. I mean, we might have talked about this in another Peep show, I'm not sure, but back about 6 or 8 months ago, I was working with this gal. Did I talk to you about this, who was into raw food, and she just thought that everybody in the whole wide world should have a raw food diet? And so she was wanting to coach people as to how to adapt their lifestyle to eating raw food, which is great. I mean, there are people who are interested in that. I'm not saying there's not a market for it. But she was arrogant about it. She would come at it from the angle of, well, you stupid thing, why wouldn't you want to eat raw food? It's healthy for you. Don't you want to be healthy? Don't you want to lose weight? Don't you want to be thin? Don't you want your blood sugar to go down? Don't you want to not be diabetic anymore? Like, well, nobody's going to buy that. You know, if you and I sat here and said, don't you want a business? Don't you want to make more money? They're going to be like, oh, get me out of here. So you can't come at people through your own arrogance. Yes, she knew a lot about it, but she did not know how to sell it worth a crap, really. And it was the downfall of her business because she couldn't lose her arrogance.
That's a good example. Yeah. When you're on your soapbox so much that you don't take the time to realize that not everybody wants what you're offering. There's just probably a narrow market who really will gobble up what you want. Right. And you got to speak to them and find out what they think and figure out how to reach them. Right.
And that's in your personal life, too. That's for everything. In fact, I had an experience this morning that kind of set me back on my heels a little bit. I got I'm constantly looking at are my legs working and how to make them better. And I got referred over to a different doctor today to take a look at one part of my leg that's not working real well. And within about the first 60 seconds I was in the room, he was proposing we do this big surgery. Well, I got to tell you, after 6 surgeries on my knees, I'm not up for any more surgery. I can guarantee you it'll be a long time before this girl lays on a hospital gurney again. And I was kind of taken aback, first of all, because I wasn't at all expecting it. And then I said, well, surely there must be some other things that we could try first, before we just went and did this huge major surgery that has like a 4 or 5 month recuperation from it. And he goes, well, don't you want to walk again? And I'm thinking, listen, ass, I've been walking for a year and a half now on legs that nobody said would ever walk. Don't be telling me it just set me back. It really, really fried me. And I walked out of there thinking, I don't care how good this guy is. He will never be operating on my foot. I didn't like it at all. It sets people off when you are arrogant about what you know. So.
Is that operate on your foot? Is that what it was?
Yeah. It's now what's happened is, my leg is kind of wearing down because I've been using it so much, and I'm, was never supposed to really walk on it to begin with. So now I'm starting to have trouble on the opposite leg, which is a long story and neither here nor there for now. But I was just so taken aback that somebody would say to me, well, don't you want to? I'm thinking, you don't walk in this body. You don't have this pain. You have no idea what I've been through, man. You haven't known me 60 seconds. That's very arrogant and egotistical to say that to somebody. If he knew me for a year, if Frank, my PT guy who knows me inside out and backwards and forwards, said that to me, I would take note because he knows me. But for somebody who doesn't know me, and it's the same in business. I can't meet somebody and say, well, don't you want to make $1 million this year within the first 60 seconds of knowing them? They might not want to. They might just want a hobby business. I need to listen more than I need to talk. So I don't get that. Anyway. So, yeah, so mindset is everything, and asking for what you want is everything. So now Santa Claus is coming. What are you going to be asking for, Marnie? Speaking of asking for what you want.
What do I want for Christmas? Business-wise?
Business-wise, doesn't matter.
I want a date for New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. All right, we'll put the vibe out there.
The criteria, though.
You want a uber cool date for New Year's Eve.
Uber cool date for New Year's Eve.
Okay, so we'll put it out there then. We'll let that out into the universe that Marnie wants a hot date for a hot, wonderful date for New Year's Eve. Yeah. I know.
What about you?
Huh?
What about you?
There's so many things that I want to achieve. It's not really that I want people to give me things, But Bill and we are for the first time since my leg happened 2 years ago, I have approval to go out of the country. So we are going on a trip. We're leaving Monday. We're going on a cruise. It's going out of the country, obviously. And I really want that to go well. I mean, I know that probably there will be times when I won't be able to do what I want to do, but I would like for that week away to go really well and for me to be able to participate in as much as I can possibly do. So that'd be a great Christmas gift for me, really. But I really, you know, what I want for Christmas is for people to believe in themselves. I really want people who are listening to this to believe that they have the ability in them to offer something to the world that the world needs and will pay them for, and that they can change their mindset and they can grow into whatever it is that they can conceive for themselves. I really believe that. What we have the ability to conceive, we have the ability to achieve, I believe.
Yeah, and they can. I think if they align it with what they're really here to do, they can co-create it with something way bigger than themselves. They're not on their own. I think that's where the how comes in, is people think,
yeah,
you're doing it on their own, and if you're doing it on your own, then the how would stop you. But you're not in control of the how, really. I mean, it's not your part to manage. You're here to manage what you want, why you want it, and have those two aligned, then the rest of it's going to come. You just got to act on the inspired thoughts that come. And
I agree. I agree. I love the way that you talk about co-creating, because, you know, it's just like we were just saying. I mean, I was serious about it. For you to get a great date for New Year's Eve, you know, we put that out into the universe, and there are forces in the universe, whether you call it divine person or what you call it, that help you toward that once you espouse it and put it out there. So there's nothing wrong with asking for what you want. So anyway, that's my wish for everybody this Christmas. I know we're going to have to end because I've got to go jump in the car and run off to PT. Where else do I ever go but PT, it seems like. But this is going to be our last Peep show for the year. We're going to have the next Peep show is not going to be till January 8th, right, Marnie?
Yeah.
January the 8th. I think it's at 1 or 2 p.m. We'll send a thing out, but 1 or 2 p.m. that day. And so we both really wish everybody who's listening to this a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, may it be wonderful, and really a Happy New Year too. And for me, also happy anniversary, because January 2nd is my anniversary. So,
oh, happy anniversary!
Yeah, thanks. I'm sure I'll be talking to you before Christmas, but Merry Christmas, Marnie, to you, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.